Good morning students, welcome to the session on data structures. In our previous session we have seen what is array and what is the definition for array and how we will be declaring it, how we will be accessing the elements, how we will be displaying the elements that we have seen in the last session. And in our today's session we are going to discuss about abstract data type of array. Abstract data type of array. Data type of array. What the abstract data type will gives us the information? It gives the information like whatever the operation that we can perform onto your data structure called array. Okay, in case of array we can perform the basic operations like we can create the array, we can search the element in array, we can sort the elements in array, and we can traverse to array. Traversing means what? Watching all the elements in your array, whatever the elements that you are going to store in your arrays, I can say. See, whenever we are talking about ADT operations, ADT operations of your array will be consisting of index and its value. Both will be considered into the array. Okay, and according to this, we can declare what? Array, declare array along with what? Your index and value. You will be providing the index, you will be providing the value also. There is no doubt, without these we will be not storing any elements in your array. That will be stored into what? Your array. Okay, and we can access the elements. This is also an operation. See, here we are discussing only operations, we are not telling in what manner we are going to do. That's the reason we are calling it as what? ADT. We are abstracting the details that are not necessary for the end users. Access array elements by having what? Index and its value into what? Your array. Okay, and see, we can store the elements, whatever the elements that are accessed by your user, that should be stored. Okay, and then when you are accessing it, when you want to display it on the screen, see, we will be having, there are two chances. If you are creating a new array, that will be empty by default. We will be not having any data over there, so that we will be getting some error when I'm trying to access the elements which is empty array. Then see, just now we have created and I is 0, then we will be getting what? Error, as we haven't stored any data in that particular array. And when you are accessing by two index numbers, say suppose I and j, if both the values are same, it should result the same element. Say suppose if it is displaying x element, if we are getting the same data for I and j, it should display the same data element if it is same. Okay, if both are different, it will be displaying the different values. Okay, and then and for all the values of I, say suppose index of your array, for every index number we will be having a different kind of elements, I can say. These are the basic operations that we can perform onto your array data structure, I can say. And every value that we are going to store in your array, we will be calling that as domain, I can say. Whatever the values that we are going to store in your array, values are as the index number, those will become domains of your array, I can say. You should remember, whatever the values that you are going to store in your array, that should be homogeneous data type, I can say. RS, I can say, similar kind of data should be stored in your array. Say suppose if you are going for characters, only characters should be stored. If you are going for integers, you should store only integer values. Say suppose operations, I can write operations like create, access the elements. Okay, and then we have discussed the storage of elements. Okay, we can store the elements, and whenever we are performing the operations, we should put some restrictions. As I said, you people, in this case, if I'm accessing if I'm trying to access the elements which is empty, if I'm trying to access my array which is empty, which is just created, which is not having any elements, then it should provide some errors. Those rules, those set of rules will be given by axioms. Okay, these are nothing but set of rules that we are going to provide. Say suppose when you are trying to access the elements, when it is empty, then it should provide the error, first rule. Okay, if when we are giving the index by I and j, in this case, if both are same, then it should result only one value. It is also a rule. Okay, when we are creating array, we should fix the size. That is also a rule. Every rule, whatever the rule that you are providing for our data structure, it will be called as axioms, I can say. Okay, for our particular array, we will be having these two rules, I can say. Whenever we are trying to access empty array, then it should result some error. Whenever we are giving some different values, it should result some different values. Whenever we are giving the same values, it should result the same result. Say suppose if I am providing the I as 0 and j as 0, it should provide us the first element of your array. If I am providing I as 0 and j as 1, it should provide different values. For this I should get the different value, for this I should get the different value. Like that, we will be having some set of rules that has to be implemented on your array, I can say. This is what your abstract data type, or as abstract operations, I can say, that we can perform on your array data structure. Okay, why we are calling that as data structures means, data structure is nothing but organizing the data elements in a particular manner. In our array, we are organizing the data in a sequential manner. Do register. That is the reason in your C and C++ you have studied in the case of a user defined data type. Now we are studying in the case of data structure. Okay, now let us see memory representation, how we are going to represent the memory. In our yesterday session, we have taken an example where we have accepted 5 elements in our array. Say this is your array: 1 2 3 4 and 5. 0 1 2 3 4, and here I am storing 11 12 13 14 15. Okay, this is our array. Consider it as your array, but it is a logical representation, I can say. In generally, we will be having the memory like this in our vertical order. Okay, we will be having number of blocks over here. Every block will be consisting of 1 byte, I can say 2 bytes. Okay, it depends on the data type that you are going to take. If it is integer, I will be taking 2 bytes. If it is character, I will be taking 1 byte. Okay, and see, memory representation will be like this. Say suppose if I am going to store some value, 11 value, by default your base address will be decided by your compiler, I can say. Whatever the software that you are using, that will be deciding at the runtime. Say consider this is your 500 location. You know that array will be storing the data elements in the sequential order or a sequential manner, I can say. For that reason, it want what a sequential memory locations to store all the elements. Say suppose if it is 500, 502, 504, 506, 508. Like this, I want to have the address so that I can store what? My 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See, every element is taking 2 bytes. That's the reason I have incremented by 2. If it is my character, I will be having consecutive locations like 501, 502, 503, like that I will be having it. Okay, in this way we will be storing the data elements. This is just logical implementation, I can say, but this is the original manner in which we will be storing the data elements in our array, means memory, in memory, I can say. Okay, this is how we will be storing the data elements, and every element that you are going to store, it will be taking some or the other way, it will be taking some memory. By that memory, we will be having the blocks. See here, it is taking 2 bytes. That's the reason I have incremented block by 2 size. Okay, if it is character, I will be incrementing by 1, 501, 502, 503, like this. Okay, and see, when we are having large amount of data elements in our array, we need to calculate the address of a particular array. Then it is not possible to see always how we are going from the base address to the next element, next element, next element. As we are having only 5 elements here, we can see the next element and we can find the address of that particular element. But if we are having 1000 elements, we can't search it for. For that reason, we are having a formula in order to find the address of element in your array. Okay, yeah, the formula that has been given like this: base address. You know the base address, no? In the last session we have discussed what the base address. Base address is the first element's address in your array that will be given at the runtime. Whenever you are changing your program, that will be, whenever you are compiling the program also, it will be changing the base address. Okay, and then base address plus offset of ith element. What are the element that you want to search it for? Ith element from the base address, whatever the element. All right, this offset can be written like this: ith location and the size of element. This offset can be written like this: ith element, whatever the element that you want to see in your array, and the size of element. Size of element means if you are storing array, it will be 2 bytes. If you are storing character, it will be 1 byte. If you are storing float, it will be 4 bytes. Okay, like that we will be giving. Overall formula for finding the address of element I is, I can write like this: address of E of I is equals to base address plus whatever the element that you want to find, I plus, not I plus, I into size of element. Okay, if you are giving this particular formula, you can find the address of any element in your array, I can say. For example, if I am having this array, say this: if I want to find the address of third element, my I is 3. Okay, then I will be implementing this formula. See, by this you can see the address 500, 502, 504. Now let us calculate it. I want to find the address of third element or as fourth element, that is given as 3. Okay, now see, base address is 500 according to my example, plus, and I is 3 into size of element. Size of element is what? 2, as I am taking what? My integer values. So 3 into 2 will become 6, and 500 plus 6 become 506. Okay, see here, 506 will be giving us 14. That is what we are having in our array. Like that we will be having chances to find the address of ith element in your array. I will be giving an example and find the address of that. Okay, see, in order to access any element in your array, we can directly access the element. For that reason, the time complexity of finding any element in your array will become big O of 1. Why? Because at once we can directly attempt to access that particular element. That is the reason we are giving the time complexity as big O of n. This big O will be discussed later when we are discussing pseudocodes, time complexity and space complexity. Just for now, do remember the time complexity for finding any element in your array is big O of 1. Okay, my example is that I will be having some A of 100 elements. Okay, and my base address is some 500. Now I want to find the address of this particular, say, 101 element in your array. So this is the example. See, I am going to store integer values within this. Now I want to find the address of this particular element. Then I can go for this. I can go for my formula, right? I will be placing my base address, that is 500. Okay, plus my I element is 101, and I am multiplying with my data type. Data type will be holding what? 2 bytes of memory. Then I will be doing this 500 plus 202. Then I will be adding them. Then I will be getting the result as 702. In this particular location, I will be having this 101th element in my array. So go for your example. You are having an array called A, which is holding integer values, and your base address is some 6000, and you need to find the address of ith element, that is some 75. Now let me know the address of this element. Okay, do this. If you are not getting it, I will be discussing it in the next session. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. If you are having any doubts, just let me know by your comments. Okay.